Hello everyone. If you've been following along, you know that I enter into Linux containers with just a double click from my Windows desktop, and here we are inside an LXD Linux container. And if I wanted to exit back out to the Windows subsystem for Linux, I would hit EXIT and it takes me one level up. You can see my prompt changed from Ubuntu at Drummers, including a Python virtual environment that's been activated, to Nell at Diamond Age, which is the Windows subsystem for Linux. And if I showed the bash profile, vim.bash profile, you can see why entering the Windows subsystem for Linux immediately drops me into the container. It's because I have this nice little busy loop. Every second it checks to see if the LXD container system is ready, and when it is ready, bam, it just enters you into it. It logs you in. And you also know that anytime that I'm in the Windows subsystem for Linux, I find the easiest way to get back into the container is to exit out and to again double click the icon from the desktop, which is really just silly, right? So if I were to exit out, I could type here LXC EXEC space drummers space minus minus space switch users space minus minus login space Ubuntu. And who wants to type that, right? But that would drop me back right into the container. So we'll exit, and if I vim that bash profile again, now look carefully at this command, right? See that this command here? It's the same command that's here with just a little bit to silence it when it's not available yet. And this is a 1 second busy loop, right? So let's say I wanted to avoid typing that after an exit. I could just type an alias space and then the word I want to use. Oh, I don't know, let's say drummers, and set that to be equal to this command, right? So we're in Vim, so I can navigate over here and highlight the command, yank it, go up here, go to the end of the line, and insert it, and close the quote. And now I have an alias, right? That's an alias sitting right there. If I were to save and quit and exit out entirely, I show it to you fresh. So we go in, bam, we're in the Linux container. We exit, we're in the Windows subsystem for Linux. I type drummers, and bam, we're back into the container, right? Pretty nice, that's an alias. So I'm editing my bash profile enough from here, from the Windows subsystem for Linux, that if I were to vim the .bash profile, it might serve me to create an alias called profile, which equals vim tilde / because full paths are always useful for these types of things. It'll work no matter where you're CD'd into, bash _ profile. Alias number 2. Now if I go into terminal, I can exit out of the LXD container. I can edit my profile. Oh, don't want to use the same word again. And you have to exit and go back in. Exit, there's a lot of exiting. But now I can type hello world with just saying hello, right? So it's a very meta process. You get into a very flow type state, being able to create your aliases as you need them and keep it nice and flexible. And there you have it. Aliases are quite useful. So if I want to get back into the container now, drummers, My world is improved and that much simpler with just a few moments to create a few aliases, right? That's Unix, that's Linux. This is the reason this survives for 40 years while other things come and go as fads and fashions. Yeah, the Unix philosophy got most things right. It's been layered on over the years with things called bash script and such. It wasn't out of the gate so perfect, but it has slowly refined to the ultimate example of 80-20 rule, good enough for most things in most situations. And this is one of those favorite features. So thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. And don't forget to use aliases.